Hello everyone. Today we are going to take a look at the ban list updates that will affect the upcoming 3-card blind tournament that will take place beginning in October. Before we jump into discussing those ban updates, I do want to make a quick announcement, which is that there was an error which affected the winners for Group C during September's tournament. So I want to take a minute to congratulate Stickman, who was playing Interplanar Beacon, Mana Crypt, and Oko Thief of Crowns, and managed to tie for first place in Group C with Twin. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go into discussing those ban updates. As a reminder, there were 5 cards that the community voted on to determine whether they wanted those cards banned or to remain legal. For each card, players could vote +2, +1, 0, -1, or -2, where a positive number indicated that you would like the card to remain legal, and a negative number indicated that you would like the card added to the ban list. To loop you in as quickly as possible, Caracas and Leyline of Singularity both have remained legal, whereas Grange Fiend, Mind Swords, and Besaju Who Endures have been added to the ban list. Let's begin by taking a look at Caracas. Caracas had an average vote of 0.52. It doesn't shock me that many folks felt that Caracas didn't deserve to be banned. The card frankly underperformed during the month of September, but because it was very popular and there were a few very vocal people that wanted to see the card go away, it was included in the vote, and you can see that those folks who felt very strongly about it did exist. There were some folks that really wanted the card to be banned, but they were overwhelmed by others who preferred the card to stay legal in the format. Next, let's take a look at Leyline of Singularity, which is very much a related card to Caracas. This turned out to be a much more controversial portion of the vote. You can see that there were some people that felt very strongly that Leyline of Singularity should remain legal, and there were a lot of people that felt maybe Leyline of Singularity should be banned, but they didn't commit nearly as strongly to that opinion. You can see there's a lot of people that voted -1, but not as many voted -2. As a matter of fact, Leyline of Singularity's average vote was 0.02, so it remained legal by the skin of its teeth. I was a little surprised that both of these cards remained legal, but this should prove to be an interesting development for next month, where we will get to see whether folks lean as heavily into playing Caracas now that it is clear that it didn't have as strong of a win rate as maybe they had anticipated it would. Next, let's take a look at our first of the 3 cards that were banned this month, Grange Fiend. Grange Fiend had a whopping -1.13 average vote, so people felt very strongly that the card should go away. This seems entirely justified. The combination of Grange Fiend and Lion's Eye Diamond proved to be extremely powerful and very competitive. I'm happy to see that Grange Fiend got banned because that strategy was looking like it might be a threat to meta diversity, and this also means that we'll get to see Lion's Eye Diamond continue to be played in some less oppressive strategies. Next, let's take a look at Mind Swords. Mind Swords, unsurprisingly, had a very negative perception in the community and received an average vote of -1.49. There is definitely a common trend that powerful hand attack spells often end up in this banned vote. That being said, Mind Swords takes the hand attack to a whole new level by being a non-targeted spell that also exiles instead of discards cards, so there's not really that many avenues to play around it, so it is a welcome addition to the ban list. The final card that got banned for October is Besaju Who Endures, which had an average vote of -0.24. This means that out of the cards that got banned this month, Besaju was definitely the one that people felt least strongly about, and you can really see that in the graph. You can see folks tended to vote 1 or -1 a lot more frequently than they did with some of the other cards that got banned this month. The outcome of this, of course, is that if you want to commit to being able to destroy non-basic lands, you will no longer have that massive amount of flexibility to also be able to destroy artifacts and enchantments as well. You're going to have to commit to which type of card you would prefer to hate out of the meta. Now, before we jump into discussing unbans, because there were some unbans this month, I do want to to mention here that I have some important real-life news that I would like to share. My wife and I will be having a baby very, very soon. This means that as far as this YouTube channel goes, there will likely be a period of time where I will be extremely busy adjusting to what might be the biggest change that I will ever experience in my life. For that reason, I can't promise that I will have as consistent video uploads, so if you're interested in participating for the month of October, I would really encourage that you join the Discord so that you can continue to be looped in on the latest 3-card blind news by myself and the community. Alright, so let's talk about Unbans. There were 3 cards that were voted on by our patrons for potential unbans, and those cards were Leyline of Anticipation, Force of Will, and Wasteland. Leyline of Anticipation has been unbanned, which makes a lot of sense because the card was put on the ban list because of the way it interacted with Black Lotus, and Black Lotus is gone, so there isn't much of a reason to think Leyline of Anticipation will be a problematic card anymore. Force of will continue to remain banned. Although the card will have another opportunity to be unbanned sometime in the future, you will not see Force of Will again anytime soon. Finally, let's take a look at Wasteland. I was very surprised to see Wasteland unbanned, but the timing seems appropriate. There is no question that Wasteland being unbanned will have a massive impact on the meta and the viability of certain types of decks. Regardless of where you stand on Wasteland, I do want to make it clear that there will be an opportunity to re-ban Wasteland if it turns out to be a card that causes people a lot of grief. With that, I would like to remind everyone that the tournament for October will have deck submissions open up on the 1st of the month, and they will close on the 7th of the month. Because our baby is due in October, I do want to make it clear that this month I will be setting a hard limit on the number of participants to 125, just to make sure things run smoothly as I adjust to these very large life changes. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you soon.